Ugh, I'll just do this off camera. I don't want to record me quitting out of the game and restarting it 20 times. So I'll come back and do this later. And then I'll just inform everybody what I got. But yeah, anyway, the way that it works is that crystal lizards, they always spawn in the exact same place.
But it's not always 100% that they will be there that time.
Yes, but they will eventually always be there. So if you know the locations in that area, you just go to where they'll appear. If they're not there, restart your game. Then they will be there, and then kill them before they disappear again, and then you've got them. Now they won't respawn after you kill them, but they will always be there eventually. This is a change from Demon Souls' crystal lizards, which were the worst thing ever, where there was only a finite number of times they would ever spawn, and if you missed one when it spawned, you just lost that time, and you might never see that crystal lizard again no matter what. Nope, that's the wrong thing I just did there. Thought I had my Estus on.
So now what we're going to do now is the reason we were down here to begin with, if you'll remember from the... Is it the Forlorn Night or the Warlorn?
The Crestfallen Night.
Crestfallen Night. Is we're supposed to ring 2 bells. And we rang the first bell, which is on top of the church. And the second bell is, for some reason, way down here in the Blighttown, and we're going to go try and do that. Now, if you noticed earlier, way at the other side of Blighttown, there was that kind of hilly mound area with weird roots sticking out of it, and that's where we're headed. Because that's where you're actually supposed to go for main game-wise, without all these detours.
Indeed, lots of detours. F all these guys. Yes, this mound is where you are ultimately going.
And this right here is where we came down from to begin with.
Yeah, that's the area that I came down from. And I'm going to heal over here one more time.
Now that mound area is guarded by a bunch of giants, and they're actually kind of tough for beginners. If you hug the wall to the right and go all the way around and up the side of that mound, you can dodge.
You'll dodge all of them, yeah, and I always do that. Yeah,
this is the back way we were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, and these giants, unlike the giants you encounter earlier that have the clubs, these have boulders, and they will either throw the boulders at you or they will roll them toward you, and either way is not really great. So yes.
If you go this back way, you can just completely skip them.
Yeah, they will never aggro. And then if you run up here...
And this is the entrance to Quail's domain.
Indeed. And I'm going to go ahead and heal this poison.
Yeah, after this point, there's no more poison inside Quail's domain.
Yeah.
And these are all kind of... insect spider egg looking things.
Yeah, these are people who've been implanted with eggs, and these have weird. These are non-hostile. There are a few that are hostile, and if you kill these, then they will burst out 3 grub-like things that will attack you, and they're part of a weird little halfway side quest that you can do.
Part of a covenant. Yeah, they follow the fair lady.
And then here's the NPC that we killed. You can now summon her to help. But yeah, there is a thing that you can pull off with the grub things that come out of those guys that will give you a second Pyromancy glove in the game. And give you access to a few other Pyromancies you couldn't get otherwise. Now I am summoning Mildred, even though she'll give this boss more hit points, because she does actually help. She distracts the boss, so the boss doesn't focus on you.
This is one of the instances where summoning actually is super helpful.
Yep.
And again, pretty intimidating.
Indeed. Yep. And so this is Chaos Witch Quail. She is actually one of the daughters of
Of the Witch of Izalith.
the Witch of Izalith from the opening cutscene, transformed into a demon by the corrupting powers down in Lost Izalith that we will see eventually.
Right. Now, she has several attacks. As you see, the one where she just breathes lava is great, because while they're busy doing that, you can run behind them and just hit. The thing is, you have to be careful about the placement of the lava, because if you step on that, it hurts, and there can be instances where she places it all around you and you're stuck. So you gotta be careful with that, and really lead her around to place the lava. Additionally, as you'll see, Quail herself has a fire sword that she slashes you with.
Yes.
But that's why we have dodge roll.
And probably her most dangerous attack, especially for new players, is when she lets out a big AoE burst of magic.
Right, we saw that early in the beginning.
Which is right there. Whoa. And she has that, which I've never seen before.
That might be new. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, and the AoE burst, it has a very, very quick startup. You have to be looking specifically for it. She sort of pulls her... she pulls her legs in and sort of charges or whatever. You have to really be looking for it, or it will catch you.
But yeah, you basically just dodge her sword attacks, try to angle her around so her lavas don't pin you in, and whenever she spews the lava, just go and get a bunch of hits on her back.
And then here is the second bell.
And the other interesting thing about Quail is, well, never mind, I'll save that until you find the fair lady in just a minute. So the second bell's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Might something happen?
Might. Oh, it's that fortress next to the church.
And yes, you will fight him.
Yep. Foreshadowing.
And no, that's not even a boss. Again, I mean, just beautiful film work.
Mm-hmm.
These cutscenes, like, it's just incredible.
Alright, and so down here is the Demon Ruins, which are the topmost section of Lost Izalith. So now, as you can see, this is a area sort of built into the cliffs down here, and also plenty of
we'll
lava.
find out later. At one point, before Gwen went back to try and sort of hold the flame together, he had asked the Witch of Izalith if she could do something about it, because she had fire powers, and she tried to create sort of a synthetic first flame, but the plan backfired horribly and birthed demons into the world. And so they sort of overran Lost Izalith and built those demon ruins on top, and that's where they live now. Additionally, the Witch of Izalith's daughters were either died or were cursed by the bed of chaos, which is what she created.
And which has now consumed her.
And additionally, her son was also, well, when you see that, you'll see. But anyway, it was a big mess.
Yep.
It was a big mess. Did not go according to plan.
How's that?
You look like a ninja.
I hear tell that's the style.
You look like a ninja with a big old
Half
halberd.
all this. There we go. Alright, and then here is... Oh god, it's a secret wall.
And this is where you can... there's another firekeeper here, who is another daughter of the Witch of Izalith, also cursed into being sort of a spider-like being. But this is what I find fascinating, is that all these eggs, and all these people with eggs on their back, these are all eggs of the fair lady whom we're about to meet. Now, the only other giant spider being we know is Quail. So was Quail a male spider? How did this work?
No, both of them are daughters of the Witch of Izalith.
Right, but was the spider body on Quail like male, and did it impregnate the
No,
spider body
I'm
of
trying
Quail?
to remember. Something about these eggs is demonic, and the fair lady has been, which as you can see is also very similar to Quailag. Um, she
Right,
has
except well,
been,
she's kind of like pinned into the wall, but
yeah,
you'll see it's kind of a spider's
yeah,
body with.
yeah, and she has been. I think she's been taking in the corrupting demonic essence from these eggs, which is along with being a firekeeper, which automatically
Hurts.
hurts you bad, is what has reduced her to this really pitiable state. And she will not speak, but if you, she has a covenant, um, which you can join.
Yeah, and joining this covenant opens up um, a secret entrance into Lost Izalith, which you need to get in order to save Solaire
Yeah,
and finish his story positively.
and the way that you, in every covenant, you can level up, and the way you do it in this one is you offer up humanity. You have to offer 30 humanity total to get the max out. And if you are wearing the witch's ring, she will speak to you. You can understand what she's saying, and it's mostly her asking where her sister is, and sort of revealing that Quailag, who we just killed, has been taking care of her more or
Right, sort of
less.
guarding her.
Yeah, and she is a fire keeper, which is why this fire restores to 10. And if you kill her, she will drop a firekeeper soul that will explain more about her issues. And then also down here, this is where that first NPC phantom we met, Kirk, this is where his body will appear if you kill him 3 times. And this is proof that he has abandoned the Dark Race and he has joined the Daughters of Chaos, and which is this covenant for her, and that he has been invading not to take humanity for Kath and the Dark Wraiths, but to
But
take
for
humanity for her
Solaire.
to help her. So I guess he had a crisis of conscience. And then this is Angie, I think is his name.
And Engay or something? Yeah,
Yeah.
Engay.
And he is actually the one who caused the Blighttown to be poisonous. Um, if you go through a little side quest thing, you can get a pyromancy glove for him, and he sells other poison-based pyromancies. And you learn from a few other items that he was the one who poisoned all of Blighttown with his experimentation. And now, of course, he serves the fair lady. And so down here, we have the very beginning of the demon ruins.
There's another bonfire right at the
Yeah.
entrance here.
Um,
Now there's another the the demon ruins themselves you shouldn't really do yet. But if you go down and fight the ceaseless discharge, you can get some really good armor and robes. And if it's your first playthrough, it's a good idea to try and get those.
yeah, and then so yeah, you can't really go very far here. And also down here, these 3 guys are the 3 hostile guys who will try to attack you. But this boss, he'll drain this lava and allow you to go further. But further on in the demon ruins, there is a golden wall that you will not be able, like a fog wall, that you will not be able to pass until you've gone further in the game otherwise. So this is like a hard roadblock here.
But this is really, and even the ceaseless discharge, you probably aren't meant to fight until later. But there's a trick to beating him, and the armor's really good, so you need to try.
Yeah, well, I think that they probably thought that you might do this now, but
Well,
yeah,
I mean, it's set up so you can try it or not.
yeah, and there is a trick to this that makes this fight laughably easy, which at first looks like a glitch, but has been confirmed that this is intentional. This is an intentional secret way to beat this boss that's also sort of supposed to tell you a little bit about who and what it is. And so here it is up here. And again, we see fire, we see sort of insect-like legs. This is another creature that's been consumed by the demonic energy. You know, the demons in this game are associated with fire a lot,
Again, the
and
facial expression, he looks like in a pitiable state.
yeah, he doesn't look. You know, he doesn't look vicious or dangerous. He looks really pitiful.
And he's called Ceaseless Discharge because all that lava in the lake is coming from him.
Yeah, and as we see, this is a corpse. And what is on this corpse but the gold hemmed outfit? And we later learned that the daughters of the Witch of Izalith, the ones that are left, all wear this garb. So that body that we just took this outfit from was another daughter of Chaos who is dead. So now we know of three. We know of Quail, and we know of the Fair Lady,
And this corpse
we
just
know
saw.
this corpse. And we'll meet a couple more later on. So anyway, you can fight Faceless Discharge where the armor was, which is sort of the normal way, or you can run all the way back here to the fog door. And if you do this, Discharge will follow you. And then when he gets over here, he will make a flying jump and get stuck. And if you look, although you can't see well, he's actually now hanging over the edge of a cliff. And if you just hit his arm a few times, he will die because he actually falls off the cliff. That he actually did not...
Yeah, if you see him right there, he was the body was falling off.
Yeah, he fell off the cliff. So, yeah, again, that was an intentional trick. And then you see that some of the lava down there hardens and allows you to progress, although, again, you cannot get very far. So it's better to come back to this later on, once you've cleared all the golden fog gates.
And also, I mean, the enemies are quite tough at this stage in the game.
Yeah. So instead we will head back up.
But the gold hemmed set is really good, even if you're a knight or a warrior and you know you're kind of an armor based kid on a first playthrough. They're really great.
I'm gonna put them on
because
right
they're
now.
light and have really good stats.
Yeah, they're light. They have really good stats. They have really high poison resist. I think they have high status resist across the board. And they make running around in the swamps of Blighttown a little bit easier, which would make sense if the Daughters of Chaos had been living around here recently, that they would develop their, robes to be resistant to it.
And we do eventually meet one who is still living there, Quailana.
Well, and we meet another one.
Well, but that's in the Demon Lands. I mean, in Blighttown we meet Quailana.
Yeah.
And she... Has it been discovered exactly how to get her to show up?
No, there's a lot of conflicting stories about it. Apparently there are several triggers. Some say you have to be a pyromancer, some say you don't, some say you have to have a pyromancy glove that's so upgraded. I don't know if there's a for sure way to get her to appear, but she'll appear out here in the actual swamp area.
Right. And she sells you a lot of good pyromancy spells, and also just speaking to her you get more lore and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
and
that's why she's good to...
She ultimately gives you a quest, although it doesn't come to much. Yeah, she will request that you kill the Bed of Chaos, which is at the very bottom, which is her sort of corrupted mother, which we'll get to. And she sort of indicates that she was the founder of pyromancy, and that her and her sisters were the ones who created and perfected pyromancy as an art form, or a spell form, I guess.
And taught it to the world at large.
Because we see in the very beginning cutscene, which we watched, that originally regular magic could do fire, because the spells that the Daughters of Chaos are weaving in the opening cutscene are magic-based. There was no pyromancy then, because pyromancy is a more recent development. So they create... and here she is right here.
Well, hooray.
Yeah, and so she sells a lot of good pyromancy.
Right, all the great fiber combustion is really good, and great combustion is.
Yeah.
Um, so if you're doing a pyromancy build, you definitely want to meet her and go through that.
Yeah,
And so, but basically, we're done down here. We rang the bell. The gold hemmed stuff was extra. We just went to get that. Speaking to her is extra. You might not even see her. But we did the kind of quest of ringing the bells, and now we need to head to Sen's Fortress, which was the place we saw open up when the giant golem opened the gates.
Yep. And that's a little bit of lore that shows that she is the originator of pyromancy. Laurentius, the pyromancer whom we saved back in the depths, if you talk to him at Firelink, he mentions that some of his pyromancy comes from Salomon, the great pyromancer,
Whom she mentioned.
whom she just said that she taught. Yeah. Yeah, and then she's the one who gives you the strongest pyromancies in the game, so it makes sense that she is the one who is the originator, and also she can upgrade your pyromancy glove higher than anyone else. She's the one who can take it to its maximum upgrade path.